What's up, everyone? Welcome to my royal regal palace. This is Palace of the King, the Lion, and that's who we're gonna talk about today. The Leo Ascendants. So let's find out what these guys are about and what their life is like from a foundational point of view. Because as you know, I am going to do these series of rising sign without any inclination towards good or bad. The good or bad situations, when you're looking at the rising sign, depends on planets and the energy that they're activating in the house. However, I want to tell you what a Leo's foundation is like, what kind of things and they run into, and based on that, the good or bad comes in. So, but first of all, what is rising sign? Seriously, what is rising sign? Rising sign is the sign that was rising from the east when you were born. Okay, so let's say you're being born here, but on the east, Leo was rising where sun rises from. That becomes your ascendant, your rising sign. So Leo ascendants, who are these people? Well, first of all, Leo people are very proud and very confident people. Okay, they know that without doing too much work, they will win you over. Why? Because Leo is represented by the lion. A lion naturally has a confidence. It's in their DNA that because, how it has come from hundreds and thousands of years of, lifestyle, the baby lion already knows that I need to dominate other people. So they don't need to particularly show you that I'm dominant. Their presence already makes them feel dominant. Okay, so this is why the confidence comes into the play for these people, the ascendants. Don't mistake this for the sun, Leo sun sign. Okay, because that is they can be shy, they can be introverted. Leo ascendants, okay, can also be that depending upon the sun. However, their foundation most of the time lets them be that confident, that confident person that when I walk in the room, I automatically will get attention. So even if they're introverted and they walk into the room, they still get that attention. However, one thing to notice about the Leo ascendant people, the first house of Leo, okay, because we're going to be discussing all the houses that relates to their education, their marriage, their career, their friends, their religious views, okay. So one thing about Leo ascendant people is that they are very quiet people. They don't really talk much. Okay, they only talk when they're provoked, or they talk when they want to make a strict point. And this is why lion does the same thing. Lion sits back quietly. Only when he sees a prey, or only when he's provoked, he will growl. So this is the main first house, the personality of the Leo person. But let's discuss what happens with the other aspects of their life. So when it comes to their family, their family environment, their wealth, their assets, they are very calculative with these things. They are very intelligent about how to relate to their family, how to, see, okay, I'm gonna behave with my father this way. I am going to behave with my mother this way. I'm going to communicate with my siblings this way. It's very calculative thing because Virgo rules their second house of all the things that I just talked about, the family, the wealth, the assets. They're very calculative with these things. When it comes to their communication, especially with siblings, communication with their people around them, the local people around them, it's very dynamic and it's, very overpowering. That's why they make very good communicators, very good creative communicators, because Libra rules their third house of communication. Libra, which is ruled by Venus, it's very sensual, it is very pleasing, and it's very articulate communication that Leo people, use. And this is why they're known as a dynamic personality, because of the fact it's not just their appearance, but when they communicate, it is so pleasing that they come out as a very, confident, dynamic personality. When it comes to their home, they're very protective of their home, like a lion. Lion is very protective of his den, And so, because Scorpio rules that fourth house, they're very deeply involved with their home and their, home environment. They have a deep connection with the mother too, and it can be a very turbulent, communication and very turbulent protectiveness with the family, meaning that they can become really, really controlling, like really tight gripped about them, which depends on how Mars is placed and where Moon is placed, because Mars is controlling the fourth house of their home environment, and Moon becomes the signifactor of the fourth house. So you got to see that. When it comes to their education, raising children, when it comes to their creativity, there's a philosophical idea behind it. They become very. They want to instill their culture, their life philosophy, and their intelligence onto their children. They want to tell them, this is how life is, this is what you do. It's a very esoteric relationship with their children for Leo ascendants. Their creativity is very philosophical in reach, because fifth house represents creativity as well. They're very good in education as well. Education, and usually lawyers are seen. And more than anything else, lawyers can easily be seen with Leo ascendant, because of the fact fifth house of education is about Jupiterian energy, which represents the law, which represents even religious studies, which represents cultural studies. Now here's the thing. Leo ascendant people have lots and lots of oppositions in their life, because the sixth house of opposition, of people who challenge you, people, not necessarily enemy, it's also enemies, but it's literally people who challenge you, who make you perceive, who make you like your competitors. Okay, it's very challenging for them, because their sixth house is ruled by Capricorn, whose lord is Saturn, and Saturn is a arch enemy of the sun. This is probably the most disturbing enemy relationship in the zodiac, with Leo one, with Sun and Saturn. So they face a lot of oppositions with them. Okay, their seventh house, the marriage. Okay, their marriage and their relationship is always, first of all, like the Cancer ascendant, it's always with a partner who is in it for the business relation, who is in it, who is mature, but especially for Leo ascendant, it kind of becomes they don't even realize it, but the person that they marry are in it for what they are about to give to them, are in it for themselves. They kind of like they may marry somebody who might be considered heartless, because Leo, the sun, represents the heart, signifactor of the heart. So the opposite of that, it's somebody who doesn't have that. So their husband or their wife are maybe in it for their, money, might be in it for the security, might be in it for a business opportunity. So the wife or husband might know, okay, I know I can help them, but they will definitely bring me money or wealth. So externally, you might think they're a very good couple, but the foundation of the Leo thing is that in behind the scenes, when cameras are not rolling and people don't know what's going on in the four walls, it's a very distant relationship between the husband and the wife, and it happens. Though Leo ascendant may have a very beautiful relationship, but still, that beautiful relationship will have that beauty based on these practical facts that I just told you. They're very esoteric too. Leo ascendant can make very dynamic astrologers, tantric people who are into the occult. Why? Because the eighth house that represents these things is controlled by Jupiter, the sign of Pisces, whose lord is Jupiter, and Jupiter signifies these things as well very strongly. So they can have a lot of knowledgeable information about these esoteric things, and depending upon the Jupiter, their longevity, the vitality within them will also, be determined because of Jupiter. Their philosophical views, their religious views, and their higher learning, which may not be academic, is very determined. They're very adamant about that. So these people can make one of those extremist sometimes, that extremist religious people. You might find nice extremist people, Like, somebody who's a vegan. Somebody who's a vegan promotes peace, and that's a good thing. But they come out as very extreme of, they really believe that, and they try to preach that. They try to preach that with a sword. Why? Because the ninth house is ruled by Aries, whose controller is Mars, the soldier. So this is why, in a good or bad sense, the foundation will be that they're very headstrong about that. Once they believe it, they believe it. Even though people might think, dude, I don't want to be a vegan. I love my greasy pizza and I love burger. I'd rather die eating a burger than eat your raw food stuff. Actually, that might be true. I'd rather die eating a cake, Oreo cake. But that's how it is, So their religious views do not fluctuate. They're very fixed because it's a fixed sign. So they're about, staying with what they believe in. Their career, again, dynamic careers. They love a career that exposes them to outer world. Why? Because Venus rules their 10th house of career and 3rd house of communication and media. So obviously, Leo's natural place is on the stage. Whether it is films, TV, news, anything. Remember Johnny Cochran, the attorney for O.J. Simpson, who was very flamboyant and out there, Leo Ascendant. And like I said, they make good lawyers because the education that instilled within them from birth is about following the law. Be righteous about what you believe in. But that can turn into other things as well. But main thing is they want to be out there showing that I am a lion, notice me, look at me. Okay. Their friends and gains and social network is very, very communicative. It's very communicative because Gemini rules their 11th house of communication, 11th house of gains. So Mercury controls their second house of wealth and gains. So Mercury becomes very important. The communication needs to be there for these people to make money. Okay? They need to be good speakers. They need to be able to sell you something. This is why they're able to sell, when they speak, people listen to them because of the fact their second house of speech and 11th house of social communication is ruled by Mercury, and 3rd house of communication, actual communication and media, is ruled by Venus. So these guys make absolute perfect, those big CEOs, those big hedge fund salesman people that are able to just sell you dirt, if they wanted to. Their creativity, their spiritual life, their ability to donate things, donate to people is very, very generous, and they're very emotionally attached to those things. They are very emotionally attached to helping people out. Why? Because 12th house is ruled by moon. Okay, but remember, wherever moon sign is placed or moon is a lord of, there's a lot of tidal waves because it's up and down, up and down, up and down. So their emotions are always just going up and down regarding, their spiritual world. They sometimes they feel very spiritual. Sometimes they feel, nah, screw spirituality. Sometimes they may give $1 million to help children. Sometimes when that opportunity comes, they may not even give $1 because moon gets that tidal wave going. So my fellow Americans and my fellow Leos, this was my analysis of your rising sign, okay? And if you're new to my channel, subscribe above because I'm going to be bringing you all this. I want to make astrology easy for you and fun for you. And if you want to know more about astrology and exactly how to find yourself and your career and your marriage and everything, check out my link below. Check out my articles there that I've put. Check out my book there, Astrology at the Speed of Light, that will open your eyes about the true astrological world. Otherwise, I'm going to see you tomorrow with another informative video. Bye-bye.